had to. Yes, yes, it is. I had to.
No consent.
No, that's all right. I actually, well, no, because you're in a different state than I'm in. But
I'm in
interesting,
California. We'll shoot the fuck out of you.
yeah. Interesting thing. Uh, uh, Virginia is a single party consent state. So long as one person in the room, including the recorder, consents to recording, you could be recorded in generally any setting, and it,
Makes absolutely no sense.
yeah, kind of cool in whistleblower senses, but also not cool in today's hypersensitive cancel culture
Yeah.
situations.
Mhm.
So I could definitely see where the issue could definitely arise.
You.
Yeah, it's interesting. Um, Almost as interesting as the world's, or the US's, at least. I don't know about the rest of the world, but our all of us sudden hyper interest in UFOs, or UAPs as the government wants to call them now. I guess to get away from the stigma of the acronym or acrostic UFO. What, I forget which one
That's
is
right.
which.
Misrepresentation of UFOs is offensive.
Think about the poor reptilians. How do they feel, man?
Not being able to be identified is an identity.
Oh God. I don't know what to say to that. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. More on them in a bit. Oh dear God, man, that's a great way to start the show there with you saw say something like that. No, I was watching a couple of news clips because one of the um one of the things I've mentioned before is that uh military tech is always like 20, 30 years in development by the time it gets into the operator's hands, right? But during that testing, or production phase, things are tested. Now, I haven't seen, all the raw data on the alleged vehicles that can do 13,000 miles an hour, but I've seen some of those weird videos where it's like that's not moving right, and where's its wings, or like, we know that you can make drones look almost in any shape, and you can really hide a lot of propulsion in various ways with drone technology, depending on, is it a jet engine drone, is it a rotary, and things like that. But it's still just all of a sudden it's almost either the zookeepers are getting bored and starting to come into the cages with us more often, or B, there's actually something more known, and they're just trying to like ease us into it. You know, what do you think? It's just kind of interesting to see. It's on CNN. It's on Fox. It's on MSNBC. It's on BBC. It's like everywhere, and they're no one will say the word alien or extraterrestrial. The most they'll say is potentially out of Earth, from outside of Earth, without saying the A word. I don't know. It's interesting to see. What do you think, man? Given all the alien invasion movies and stuff we live with today.
I hope they're wrong, because if the natural selection tells us anything, is if there is in fact life on Mars or beyond, uh we're not on top of the food chain here, and it's not going to go well for us.
Not if they're visiting us. No,
No,
no.
exactly. So yeah. um but it was interesting that mid-pandemic is when they decided, hey, by the way, we're declassifying all these UFO files,
Mhm.
and everyone went, wait, what? um, but then we were distracted again by everything else. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Part of that was some alleged whistleblowers, and I'm always going to say alleged until, because here's the thing. While the Navy and Air Force and whatnot, I gotta raise my seat some, have come out and said yes, these are real videos taken with military equipment. They've never said this is a blank. It's unidentified. They won't even say that they don't know who or what it is. The official statement is still it's unidentified. That's
I mean,
it.
it
And
could just be a variety of things too. It doesn't
yeah,
necessarily have to be extraterrestrial. They just went,
exactly.
I don't know.
But even
Put this in the
even
UFO pile.
right, but even with that idea of thinking of earthbound technology, even if we try to estimate, like look at say the F-35, or even go back to the F-22 Raptor. When that thing came out, they took like the best parts of the F-16 and the stealth fighter and smushed them together and created the Raptor. And even that was like, we couldn't fathom stealth tech that didn't look like, the Nighthawk or the B2 Spirit. And here's a plane that just looks like a jacked up F-16, and it's stealth. Like, I can't imagine the technology advances just 30 years out to be there. It's hard because we've hit like a period of like stagnation almost with it, where, like I said, like our computers get more efficient, the phones more efficient, but I can't remember the last big like leap technologically. The thing after the computer was shrunk to fit in your home, that's all that we've focused on. So yeah, even earthbound things, it's like if someone else if that's not us, I'm almost more afraid than it being extraterrestrial, because in my mind, if you're able to travel the stars easily enough to get here, resources are likely not an issue. So I made a joke about the zookeepers, but I kind of almost see it's like a intergalactic roadshow sideshow. Come look at the galaxy's least most advanced primary species. And in that case, I would be more afraid if it was an earthbound state player with something like that than I would be extraterrestrial. But it goes back to this idea and how almost accepting the public is today versus when Project Blue Book was going on in the 50s, 60s, the Roswell stuff, after all that. The public acceptance, I think, really comes from having seen all of these science fiction stories dealing with space travel, the way spaceships will travel, theoretical sciences being used in things like black holes or wormholes, and all of that becoming either real working theory or a fact. That yes, black holes exist. Yes, you can travel in space. Yes, you can go to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. I love seeing science fiction come to life. And I think maybe that's why people are a little bit more open-minded to it. What do you think?
I think we're kind of bored, man. There's has yeah, I think you're absolutely right. There hasn't really been anything quote unquote groundbreaking in a while. So yeah, it's when you start thinking about beings that maybe are of higher intelligence, you kind of you will start humbling yourself as far as we're not that great, are we?
Yeah.
Especially if you just take into account the idea of like traveling through the stars at a specific speed, and being able to, for that species to make the call that, yeah, it's worth it, yeah, let's go and check this out, because, and obviously, like you said, resources aren't necessarily a big thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is what it is. I in an interview, what, a couple 4 or 5 months ago, I think I talked to a UFO theorist, or I don't know what they're called,
I
man.
think I don't know if they still go by
They changed the name. I
ufologist
forgot
used
what.
to be
Yeah,
it.
something like
Yeah.
that. But some of the things. Well, one of the funny things he did say is not funny, actually. Serious things is he did mark around this time when the government would start releasing certain things.
Mm.
So I don't know. It's it's a weird topic that, we could have found out if we would have just raided Area 51, but we didn't.
Nobody wanted to do the
And where it went.
Naruto run. It does look pretty ridiculous in real life.
Yeah, it is.
And without it, you can't be fast enough.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like, do you live up to your TikTok fame, or do you look like a fool?
Because aerodynamically it makes sense, right?
Exactly, 100%. God, I I don't know if you've ever ran like right, done the proper like foot movement and how you're supposed to hold your posture. It's hard to get used to, but you can definitely feel the difference. And there was this kid in the army, shouldn't have been in there. Garbage recruiter put him in there. But fast as hell. But he ran stupid, flat foot, slamming his feet on the ground, hands literally like flailing, and would still run 2 miles in 11:45. Like, what the
That sounds horrible.
fuck, dude? Like, do you realize if you could run right, you could probably just be in the Olympics? But anyways, I wanna talk about something Elizabeth Olsen said to THR's Award Chatter podcast, something that we all knew. It's just now she's said it herself versus the Nexus being references in WandaVision. She said that in relation to her character, she has a few fun powers, telekinesis. She can travel between universes, and then she kind of trails off during the interview, like, "Oops." Um, this is one of those things where you and I think have often agreed that the mutants need some time, at least one, I think 1.5 movies, or maybe 1.5 movies worth of content between a movie and a show. They need some time for a good introduction. We just can't be like, boom, X genes, you know. And one of my ideas was to have her go off on her search for her boys, Vision, or whatever, right? And she's the one that finds mutants in another universe, which is how you could create her connection to them without having her have to be a mutant.
Uh-huh.
And at some point, I even thought of using Messiah Complex as an excuse for them to come over here, and she would help bring them over here. We know the multiverse of madness is dealing with it, so her crossing dimensions in there's not surprising. Since there's been no X-Men talk, no mutant talk, no nothing, man, I don't know if we're gonna get mutants by Doc Strange, unless we're gonna get a bombshell that they are already here in the Eternals. What do you think?
That would be bad if they were already.
It would be.
I really think we should just almost create the Fox multiverse, right? Where these characters all exist there, and maybe you don't have to take into account some of the storylines that have happened, and sure, just cast everyone over again. But you definitely need to not just assume they were there, or what was it that what don't do anything stupid like in the Dark Knight,
Mhm.
where what's his name's character was at the end was like, oh yeah, my middle name's Robin, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
no, that's not how this works.
uh,
That was cringy. Um,
wasn't
so
that a Warner
yeah,
Brothers thing? Like added on at the end. I heard that might just be a rumor, but
well,
anyways, go
Christopher
ahead.
Nolan never wanted to make that movie anyway.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Warner Brothers is like, you still want to make weird shit? Make Batman, and you can make all
Make
other
weird
weird
shit. Yeah.
shit. um,
I still
so
haven't
yeah,
watched Tenet.
I
I
I
need
I
to.
started watching it, and then I was like, I'm bored. I think I got
Uh,
half an hour into it. Uh, well, the problem is that like all of the marketing for that movie and all of everything just it put it like a sour note as far as wanting to watch it and being excited for it, and also the idea that this movie was supposed to save cinema last year, right? Um,
yeah.
and while his movies are fun and entertaining, they're not as good as some people think they are. But I mean, whatever. I could also say about the same thing about those Snyder zombies who are I was looking through the internet scouring about Army of the Dead and how supposedly it's such a great movie, and it's funny because that video that Jace shared with us
Yeah.
could not be more true about a lot of the things that go on in that movie. Anywho, back to your original point. 10 steps to Kevin Bacon, or in this case,
The
back to Zack Snyder.
multiverse. Yeah. Or
Um,
yeah.
yeah, we need to you gotta just use a multiverse. It's easy. It's and you're not gonna have continuity questions, and I think that's the most important part. Like, don't wreck the stuff you already made.
Yeah.
It's like, well, actually, this was actually going on, or this whatever, and then you have to say stupid things like, again, Snyder, when the scene with the whales
Mm-hmm.
with Man of Steel, like, oh yeah, that was Aquaman sent those whales, and you're like, really? He said, okay. So just do a multiverse and just be done with it. And because you have it, it's there. I mean, DC uses it all the time and it works because you don't necessarily have to question it. You're like, oh, okay, other Earth, got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you could also, you don't have to deal with origins.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. That was my idea. Like if I'm in the writer's room and I'm trying to figure out how to bring mutants, I have in Multiverse of Madness, whether it's Vision's soul or the boy's soul or just her escaping grief, you have a reason for her to go to this universe where mutants do exist. She makes friends, new family, helps them out. Their time and universe is a little different. So Magneto and Charles, like we've said, uh, the specific experience doesn't have to be the World War II Holocaust because of how far removed from that we are. But you definitely have to have Magneto experience some form of bigotry as a human, plain human, color, race, religion, what have you, and then the bigotry that comes with being a mutant.
yeah,
As long as you fill that out, using that alternate universe allows you to do that without making them super old.
yeah,
Because even if we want to make them African American and go with civil rights movement, that still makes them really old right now, 60 plus years, you know. Um, and I don't think people want to see necessarily 60-year-old Magneto, maybe 45-year-old Magneto,
we want like
45-year-old
the
Charles.
last Magneto was good.
Yeah, Fastbender. I think they
That's
try
like
to.
that's a good
Yeah,
age.
late 30s or early 40s. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
down with it. 100%. So she goes over there, and I think she does the decimation either on purpose or on accident, trying to get her boys back or something. Because you could still make it a lot about Wanda, and then you do the Messiah complex storyline with the new birth to a degree, but you combine that with Forge and Bishop and their because Bishop's time travel and always trying to avoid the Sentinel future and stuff like that. That's how you bring them over, where they're sanctuary. But guess what? You just brought over a whole group of powered people into a universe that really doesn't trust all the powered people that they already have. And lo and behold, you get to explore that mutant bigotry in depth in the MCU like everyone wants. But I think the public, I don't know if the general audience would handle an X-Men only movie again.
Yeah, I think so.
You think they could?
Yeah, the only issue is that bet that one of the first things they want to do is Phoenix.
No, Feige
well.
won't. No, he won't. No, he won't. He's smarter than that. We are at least 15 years from that. But I keep telling you, Onslaught, man, that's the one. Like, we can jump in. We don't even have to spend a whole bunch of time of seeing Charles and Eric as friends. We can go right into the height of X-Men versus Brotherhood, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like in their universe, this has been going on for 5-10 years already, maybe. There's so many options if you don't just the Eternals made mutants and they're just waking up now. Like, could you I'm not saying that today is perfect by any means necessary, but could you imagine them using contemporary events to shape Magneto and Charles? Like, right. I don't necessarily know how that would resonate with the general audience, with it being so fresh, and then you would have to, like, how old then? Because for someone to be shaped by more recent events,
mm-hmm.
they have to be fairly young, because when you're older, you've got different resiliencies and stuff like that. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, story wise, I start wondering how and where.
Well, the thing is, right now more than ever, I think mutants really resonate with people because you have a large group of different groups of groups for whatever reason, whatever, I don't know, just pick one, that are fighting for their rights, fighting for a voice, fighting to just feel normal and included. And I think that's something that that's resonated with mutants for
that's why they were created,
right? So I think you need to jump on this as soon as you can. Just to, I hate to say it this way, but I mean it's just the way the cookie crumbles. You gotta ride the wave of the market that really that will accept this, because it gives you the opportunity to really diversify your casting, your messages, and the tone of your films without necessarily feeling preachy, because that is what it is.
Yeah.
and so those stories can live with those characters, kind of the same way that they did with Falcon and Winter Soldier. The message was on point because they used the right characters.
Yep, exactly.
So with the mutants, you can do that too. You can even expand those thoughts, because that's the fight,
Oh yeah. I agree with everything you are saying. When I was my comment was specifically about shaping just Magneto's experience, like trying to pick his and Charles's origin point. But yeah, you're 100% on. I look at how many awesome X-Men characters there've been throughout its run, and everyone's gotten a shot long before 2015. You know what I'm saying? We've had every ethnic group on the X-Men, because every human is a potential X gene carrier.
Yes.
We've seen every religion, every gender, everything you can imagine. And what I really like about mutants is the like Mystique type characters, the one that get the physical changes that are extreme, because it's those were always the ones like that was the big thing about Mystique, and why Jennifer Lawrence sucked as that character. Mystique was proud to be blue,
Oh yeah.
and proud to be a mutant, and that while they made her a bad guy, she was always people's like favorite because of that, because of her boldness of this is who I am. And there's a lot of really great actors out there that, man, they fucked up on that so bad in those last movies. It's a diverse group, and I can't wait to see TV shows and movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a shame, but
I didn't like. Do they not? Every actor and actress that's been in a comic book movie has held up a comic book and been like, I'm researching who didn't tell her what Mystique's like mentality is. Who didn't tell Jennifer Lawrence, or who didn't be like, this is the deal, this is the contract, you will spend 80% of the movie in blue.
I just think that was just bad casting from the beginning. You don't need a big name actress to fill that role. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't, for that very reason. But that's what they decided to do.
How scared are you? Because I really am a little nervous. The second and third time I watched the Eternals trailer, I'm really starting to get scared that there's going to be some mutants already here, but we might also get a multiverse mutants. Like, they might hybrid it, but I don't want even a hybrid version. Like, and then I have that sinking feeling they might just be like, oh, they've been here all along.
Is it because of what they try to do with Inhumans?
Yeah, that, and because I still think a lot of what the Inhuman movie was going to be is what became the Eternals. I think a lot of the story point, because comic book wise, you and I know the Inhumans, Eternals, and Deviants are all connected and related through Celestials, and the Celestials are a big part of this. So I think a lot of it was repurposed, saved, changed to fit, but repurposed. And yeah, man, and then you've got Miss Marvel coming out, supposed to be later this year or early next year.
Well, it's filming already.
Yeah, and in the comics, she's Inhuman. So what are they gonna do? I don't know.
We just right now, honestly, it's kind of, we've kind of reached to a point where in Feige I trust. So
yeah.
If some things, like I said, they're not all going to be winners, but I trust that he's done it for 10 years, taking the franchise in the right direction. So why would he start doing something so reckless now? So
yeah.
I will judge things accordingly until they come out, because he's going to have to change things, cut things out in order to make it fit, make it work. But with the care that they've taken with some of the things, like I said, I'm not too worried. I'm not worried about it. I'm more worried about what's going on the other side of that river with Warner Brothers.
Well,
then, yeah, I can leave Marvel alone in a room.
Yeah. For the moment, you definitely can. Well, let's leave us alone for a moment and let's somebody talk about our outstanding sponsors over at Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. For all of your cultivation needs, Grow Generation has the right products, service and staff to make your grow successful. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
All right, listen to Scottish guy and go check out our sponsors. Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Warner Brothers, Manny, Nick Dahl wrote a piece last night about the casting of the Willy Wonka, young Willy Wonka for his origin movie,
Yeah.
which I don't know why we need that. And it's
there's no original ideas right now, man.
no,
Everything's remakes, origin stories. No new ideas.
but out of all of the origin, like I would almost rather see the origin of
The Oompa Loompas?
no, like the grandpa that went with Charlie to the factory because he could sing and dance and stuff. Like maybe he's a World War I vet or something.
You know what was funny about that? I always found that interesting. It's like the grandpa is a piece of shit because he only got up when it was time to go to the chocolate factory. I don't know.
My wife loves that movie. It's a good movie.
I don't know what they're doing. But that just goes across the board, man. You're
starting to be like I am with Sony with Warner Brothers.
Well, the thing is, at this point, I don't even stress about it because the idea now is to be positively surprised, then have my expectations high and get my dreams crushed like I've been so many times. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a company that they keep playing hot potato with executive boards and owners and ideas and creative teams and it's almost like you walk into a room and you're like, who's in charge? And everyone's like, you? Wait, what? So it's pretty sad. But
I wonder with the, I mean, it's going to take time for the deal to be done, but when we saw Fox put a lot of things on hold, things ranging from like I think there was like a Mega Man movie to more Predator and Alien stuff during the purchase, and then Disney basically culled their greenlit in development herd from all their acquisitions and proceeded with what they're doing now. And I think we'll see the same thing after this AT&T sells off Warner Media. Unfortunately, you're still going to see them try to make as much money as they can. Hence, Timothy Chalamet. I'm sorry, Timothy, for jacking up your name, but the lead male from Dune plays the son. I forget his name. But yeah, he's set to play young Willy Wonka, and yeah, we really want to hear the story about a white guy going and enslaving small orange people with purple hair, green hair, and making them work at a chocolate factory. Like I almost, now I'll say this. Take just the premise of Wonka. Like I said, he says he gave them a home and a job. Sure, you put a roof over a slave's head, you gave them a home,
like,
and you make them
so many dictators.
Work. Yeah, that's a job. So maybe they make this dark. What do you think? Should it be like a dark, twisted take on Wonka?
No, Wonka needs to be whimsical, man. It needs to be fun. That's what worries me, is that I'm afraid that it's going to be try to be like some sort of dramatic role or something, and make him
Oh, like make
more.
him oh god. Could you imagine if they knight him and he literally goes and like liberates the Oompa Loompas and they go to work for him out of thankfulness? Oh god.
For some reason, I pictured the aliens from a Toy Story. Yeah.
Oh
So.
jeez. I won't lie. There's a couple of cool ideas out there that do that, um take a premise and take it to its most extreme. And one of those, let's see here, is this story right here called the Child Thief. um it's by an illustrator and author, Brom, and it takes the idea of Peter Pan, a kid that goes to find other kids that are, you know, in disenfranchised, orphaned, and in bad situations, promises them a wonderful adventure, but takes them to go fight pirates, right? Well, the book does exactly that, but just that. There's no whimsical stuff about it. Peter, actually, the first kid that he saved is a kid that's about to be abused by their father, and Peter kills the dad, and you're like, yay! But then when you get to their version of Neverland, it's fucked, man. They're all, the Lost Boys are all combat hardened soldiers that Peter's basically enslaved to fight the pirates. It's a wicked good book. I don't know how much audiences would eat it up as a movie, though. What do you think about take ideas like, because he did something similar with the Velveteen Rabbit as well. What do you think about doing stuff like that?
It's fun, man. It's always fun to kind of take what we, because there's some stories like that we all know. So when you're able to take them and kind of flip them on their head with a different take and a different viewpoint outside the box, it makes it fun. The one that always comes to mind is all of the crazy stuff that they've done with like Alice in Wonderland
Yeah.
and different interpretations. And I think one of my favorite things that they've done is when they turn it into a horror story,
American McGee's Alice video
Mhm.
games.
Yeah, things like that. And
Whatever happened to that movie?
that see, that's something I pay to watch.
Whatever happened
That
to that? So
that
why is that so why is that one okay, but we can't make Wonka the bad guy just because that movie's
we
super special to you?
no, it's not super special. It's
Oh.
it's just what it correlates with is just the chocolate and the factory, and it's always been, hell, it's a
Yeah.
real chocolate bar brand,
Yeah.
So, there's how many ways can you really interpret it as what it is, whereas with Alice, some people have interpreted it as just a mental disorder, or as a dream, or yeah, just horrible stuff happening to her, and things like that. And it has more range, I guess, is what I'm saying, because the
Yeah.
character of Willy Wonka is supposed to be a certain way. But hell, I'll take a dark and gritty version where um, Willy Wonka is a socialist dictator that um, rations out food and everything for the Oompa Loompas, and they don't know any better. And then Charlie comes in and shows them that there's a whole new world that where they can be free and earn their own money,
There you
and
go.
and rise in the capitalist beauty that is the United States of America.
Awesome. I love it. Hire us, Warner Brothers and Marvel. I'll take care of the mutants for you guys, and he'll take care of Wonka.
I'll take care of all DC. That's what I'll do.
Oh man, I love I brain not
Oh, someone's
working.
having a queen moment.
Yep. I I like the ideas of doing those, and I'm like you. There's some where you're like, yeah, that works, and other stories where you're like, no, don't do that, and it goes back to our constant like almost mantra here of some properties work for certain things and others don't,
Yeah,
and that's just the
certain
way it is. And
yeah, certain writers shouldn't have no business writing certain things,
mm-hmm.
and vice versa. So it works for some things, it doesn't work for others. The Russo brothers, um, doing Cherry, I think was a bad idea.
Garbage movie.
Was a terrible idea. Now, does that mean they're horrible
No,
filmmakers? Absolutely not. It's
God
just
no.
that specific movie did not fit
Nope.
in their wheelhouse, and that's okay. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the point, I think. Just everybody has a strong suits, and you know what? And yeah, it's fun for us to sit here and bash, right? And sometimes and say this is trash and this is not good. But at the end of the day, you also got to give filmmakers always the credit of doing it,
Yeah.
being bold and putting their work out there, because I know that for me personally, like if I made a short movie at home, I probably wouldn't want to show it to anyone. It's kind of like, oh, everyone's gonna hate this. So it takes a lot of nerve to go out there and do what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Except for
Uh,
Zack Snyder, but that's okay.
God. Yeah, dude. I
He's
think.
turning into my damn Sony. I hate you, Kyle.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun here on the Daily COG with Sony later this year as other films start coming out, more
Dude,
trailers and stuff.
We should do top 5 things we hate. Bring back LRM's top 5. And
Yeah,
like, top
yeah.
5 things Kyle hates and top 5 things Manny hates.
God, it'd be like 12 hours long, because I'd have to spend at least 2 on Sony and then 1 on everything.
We need brief explanation. That we don't need novels.
Yeah,
Audio
yeah.
books. I don't need an audio book.
Well, I gotta explain not just why I hate, but with where the passion comes from. You know, you got hate. Hate is something that just it gets thrown around. I hate McDonald's. No, you don't. You just don't want it today.
I don't like it.
I hate the New York Knicks. Okay, you might actually hate the New York Knicks.
I actually hate the Dodgers though, and fuck the Dodgers, and actually all teams LA. Any team LA is absolutely garbage in my book. Also, hey, since we're talking about negative things, and we can really talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question, and I know it's probably going to trigger you, but I need to ask it to you, man. What's going on with the Pens?
Dude, they look, they are trying to rebuild without taking the hit and missing a couple of off seasons. So we got rid of the GM Rutherford last year, and we're still playing with older players like Crosby and Malkin. Tank, we dropped some weight a couple years ago after the back wins, but no enforcers. The young bloods that they get in small spurts, and you can't do that. But they're writing a what are we at 2000, and we're at 16 straight, close to 15, 16 straight playoff appearances. They don't want to let that go, but I'm willing to let it go because Crosby's old and injured. Malkin, not as injured, but still old and injured more than other players. I mean, guys, Matt Murray, was phenomenal, but he got hurt. He got a couple of concussions back to back. Look at me. I've had the car accident concussion that I didn't always talk like that. Manny remembers me from before the car accident. I didn't talk like this. Imagine, people that get multiple of those in short periods of time. It happens. So, but yeah, I can take the shit. I can take it. They've been sucking, and it's their
man,
fault.
I support a team that just sucks, has always sucked, and they pretend to be good. So at times, so
it's all good. It's all right.
And as a matter of fact, they play in a place where it never snows. So I've always found that interesting too about hockey in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why are there hockey teams in Florida?
Because hockey's great.
No, I get it's great, but but it's funny because it's like,
yeah,
Phoenix, because there's a hockey community in Phoenix, right? Well, I mean, and there is, right?
Yes,
because of the
now.
team.
Yeah,
but the little kids are like for example, like in the Mighty Ducks or things like that in films where you can. Because I don't know, I live in California.
Yeah,
so we don't know about ice. we know about it being hot and then it being cold and nothing in between. I don't know about these junior hockey leagues and things like that happen. I'm sure there are some, but they're very scarce compared to our soccer leagues, little leagues, basketball leagues, and things like that. But like how the hell did San Jose get a team, right? And so I will say they got that new cool team over in Seattle, the Kraken. That's a cool name for a hockey team.
Did they? I knew that was a front runner. I didn't remember if that.
I believe they start next season.
Was official. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say with all of this is anyone but the fucking Golden Knights.
God, you hate Vegas.
Damn. Huh?
Why you hate Vegas like that, man?
Well, the thing is like they came into the league and I get it. It's other teams' fault for not designating certain players, but it feels like they just got to take like so many good players and then just randomly build a team. And like, how does that make you deserving of going to the Stanley Cup play? And I get it, you're supposed to play games and win, right? But still, whatever.
Yeah.
Because Vegas, right? Snow.
Yeah.
and just sports town in general.
Well, the betting makes sense. It's just to me with all the betting and stuff that does go on there, the fact that the first sports team Vegas ever got was a hockey team is insane. There's the Kraken logos. I'm not against that.
No, but I think it's cool.
Yeah. I'm guessing this might be on their shoulder insignia. Anchor. It makes sense. Seattle's a port town. Yeah, I like it. I'm down with it.
Yeah,
I knew it was a front runner, but I
like the Space Needle.
Hadn't seen that. Yeah. Oh, I just noticed that. I'm down with it. Bravo, Seattle. Good for them. I was rooting for them. They had a team back in the turn of the century. I think they left in the 19-teens. Around the same time Pittsburgh's old Pirates hockey team left, I think. They weren't NHL, they were other leagues, but yeah, I'm a hockey fan. Can you tell?
Yeah. I wanted to see how much I could trick you with it.
No. See, that's the thing. And before we wrap up, you can always tell like a real fan who will play along and feed into it, but can also legitimately be like, no, my team sucks right now. Please stop what you're doing. Trade everyone. and let's, dude, the Braves they had to do it like twice. They went through like a 2 attempts at almost a complete rebuild, but they fucked up because they didn't focus on their bullpen enough when they did it the first time, which is why they had to do it a second time. But rebuilds usually take 3 to 5 seasons before you're back at the semi-finals or finals level. You know? Sports fans know this. Just fucking accept it. That was Al Davis's fucking problem too. Fucking I'm sorry he's dead, but Junior's no better.
Oh yeah. They were like, who's the fastest guy? Yeah, I'm gonna take that guy.
Yeah, let's just blow the budget on that guy. Anyways, everyone, welcome to the
ESPN's.
Yeah, well, welcome to LRM Online presents Sports Talk.
I'll tell you one thing would be better to listen to than Skip and Shannon sometimes.
There you
Guys,
go. Oh, hey,
those guys can't get. Those guys are so biased. Then again, so were we. Never mind. We're no better.
dude. Look, Major League, the hockey one, shit, Slapshot, the fuck, even kids sports movies like the Little Giants and Big Green.
The Big Green's amazing.
Sports is a fucking genre, dude.
Sports,
yeah.
Sports.
So,
sports is definitely a genre because
absolutely.
I mean, remember the Titans? So
Yep.
so well done, and then
yep.
Yeah, that's a whole other category of genre. But
I will say this. There's a great documentary on the 1980 Olympics. You know, the Miracle on Ice, USA versus Russia. I think it's one of those 30 for 30 ESPN ones, and it's
30 for 30. They're awesome.
It's on the Russian team's point of view though, and they talk about like what they faced when they came home. Like some of them are like dirt poor, ostracized from society. Like it's an amazing documentary. But
there's one just like that also for the 1994 World Cup when Colombia lost to the United States. And I think one of the players was killed. And that story from the Colombians' point of view.
It was the fans that did it, right? It was like
because people lost money.
Yeah, it was like, or not fans, like maybe someone connected to crime. It was not like, it wasn't like the government did it.
no, not the government, but not like you see a lot of times for the Olympics and World Cups and things where like people from certain countries like run away.
Yeah,
that's intense.
Former Soviet Union has had people say, you know, athletes were off. China, North Korea, Iran, the usual suspects.
I don't know how true it is, but I've heard things that like, here I go spreading rumors on the internet. I've heard that in North Korea they doctor like sporting events to make it seem like they won.
I have no doubt that they would. I don't know for certain, but would it surprise you?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome to the Daily COG genre, where we started off with awesome Marvel mutant talk based off of some alien tech Tuesday, and then into sports.
Ended up in North Korea. Yeah, then we ended up in North Korea. That's amazing.
So if you guys like this stuff, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Share us with some friends and family. Hit the bell so you can be notified when this goes up. All of our other podcasts are also going up on YouTube. And Marvel Multiverse Mondays, including Loki Thursdays, is a video series as well. So more excuses to use YouTube. And then, of course, subscribe to the LRM's Genreverse Podcast Network, wherever you get your podcasts from. It's the same channel you guys are already should be subscribed to, just some expansion. And check out LRMonline.com every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and awesome opinions from people like me, Manny, Christine, Nick, Cam, and lots of others. Manny, what do you got coming up for us?
Being that it's Memorial Day on Monday, I do highly suggest you check out the interview I have with Marine veteran John Hancock. It's fabulous because he talks about his experience and his walk and what he's doing now as a foundation to help other veterans. And he also talks about the way that Hollywood is portraying veterans in a very, very bad light. Also, on that note, the studios gave us an exclusive clip which just dropped on LRM Online on our website, as well as our YouTube channel, which has a little additional commentary that you're not going to actually find in the film. As well as I know that Jonesy's going to have a review today for Cruella. We're going to have a couple little pieces here and there throughout the week. And make sure to keep an eye on Twitter, because I'm going to be giving away some tickets throughout the week. And that way you go ahead and enjoy that over the weekend. It is a fabulous film. And yeah, in the next week, we're going to have the majority of the cast of Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights, which is also directed by the director who did Crazy Rich Asians. I can't remember his name right now at the top of my head. So that's just from me. From Gig and Nancy, you're going to have quite an array of other interviews as well. Nancy had Eugenio Derbez and his family last week, which was delicious. So yeah, I mean, what else do you want? What else do you want, people? We got it. We got it all here for you. We got Disney, we got Marvel, we got North Korea, soccer, penguins,
okay.
everything and everything in between.
We gotta do a sketch and God, it's sketchy. Pun intended.
Oh God, that's really bad.
Yeah, I know, no. But you remember Cheech Marin in Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah.
We've got Marvel, we've got DC. Do that, and then at the end, if we don't have it, you don't want it.
Yeah, you don't want it. That's the deal. That's why.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, look up Cheech Marin.
What's
from
wrong
Dusk
with
Till
you? You don't
Dawn.
know what we're talking about.
And yeah, you're definitely wrong if you don't know what we're talking about. But look that up. It's not safe for work. With that,
No.
Social media down at the bottom and in links and descriptions and stuff like that. For those of you on audio, I'm at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. Manny, you are at LRM_Emmanuel on Twitter, at riddlemethis_510 on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for listening today, and we will talk to you tomorrow, bro.